Our next graft is going to be conducted by Marc Boone, and this one right here is a very, very effective graft. I love this grafting, especially with bigger scion, and it's very, very. I mean, you get all kinds of contact with cambium with this. All your whatever scion you want to use. You want me to get you a good size root stock?
Like an overlease here. Overlease.
Overlease?
Yeah.
There's 2 bags of overlease in there just in case you find something that's like you're going to be on.
I'll use this.
Messenger look good to you, Marc? Yeah.
This one's got fruit buds on it down below.
That's the flower buds I was talking to you guys about earlier.
Little round things. The leaf buds look like feathers.
Marc Boone here, he comes from Michigan. He's probably one of the oldest growers here as far as the pawpaws, so his experience over the years, if you have any questions along the way, you can ask him.
Okay. And there's a lot of kinds of grafting knives. You could, I like to just look at catalogs of them, but this is, oh, that's my jackknife. This is another one. Some of them have straight edges, some of them have curved. It all depends on what you want to do. This one also has a spade on it to lift the bark. Usually I wind up using my bottle opener instead, but whatever fits. This is my...
What he just pulled off for you, I'm going to hand this over. You guys pass it down, look at it while he's doing the demonstration. He pointed out flower buds, fruiting bud, and then you have the leaf bud. The round one is your flower bud, and then at the top of this, scion towards the terminal, the top of the branch, is leaf buds. So we'll just pass that around, and you guys can have a look and see what the difference is as he's doing his graft. Now what he's doing, he's matching up his scion to his root stock. That's very important.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this long for now. When I'm all done, I'll cut it off and then I'll wrap it with the parafilm. Okay, now I like this knife the best, but it's a good thing to. No, hold on. Yeah. Oh, I see that. Yeah. There's another one.
Give it a quick cut to make sure it's around the same bag. Something that I happened to see that he didn't catch, and there's something that you want to look at in the scion. All right. If you look down the center of that stick, you see a brown mark. You see that? See that? That's a possible borer mark. I would not waste my time with that. It ain't worth killing your tree. That could be a possible borer in there. Hey, Pardon me?
You want to pass it around?
Yeah.
Pass it?
Yeah. Pass it around, take a look at it. Me personally, I would pitch it. But one thing I have done, and you can do, is I go down, I keep looking, I keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. There, found a clean spot. Once I find a clean spot, now I'm going to see if I got something that I can match that up to and do my graft. I just wanted to share that with you real quick. Don't waste your time when you see something like that down that stick. That stick only costs you a few bucks out of your pocket. It ain't worth the cost of your tree. Sorry about that, Mark.
Okay, this is a right-handed knife. It's got a straight edge that for this, well, for a lot of things I like, but and what I do is I put my fist in my stomach, so if something slips, it's not, I'm not going to cut myself. Right? This is the hand that's moving here on the backside. And I try to get this in one. Sometimes I get it in one slice. There. You want to smooth a cut as you can get. And I can set this down for a minute. Get this washer.
Now the cut he just made is called a whip.
I'm not cutting down this one, I'm cutting up, so. If you use it the other way, you try to use a right-handed knife and cut left-handed, what'll happen is it'll try to make a half moon cut. It won't be straight. Farther.
And what he's doing right there, he's trying to make sure that both whips are the same size. He wants them to be the same size so you have a good fit. And they're nice and long whips. Well, you cut them a lot longer than I can.
I don't like them overhanging though. I cut it off at the too long. I suppose they take the water away. Okay, that edges up pretty good. So now at this point, I get to make the Whip&Tongue. You put your blade into this about a third of the way from the end. And you cut back. And like I say, I like my fist in, so even if this breaks, which they often do, they'll split. My hand won't slip. It is locked into my stomach. And you don't push, you rock. And take it almost to the end of the whip.
When he says the end of the whip, he's talking about right here.
You said almost to the end of it?
Yeah, almost.
Okay. Set that down. It's the same thing now. Now I get this. And they make many types of washers too.
I taught somebody one time to graft, and the first thing I did is I broke out a CD disc. You can even use a CD disc, and I taught her how to graft for the first time, and that's what I put over top of that. She, oh, I'm so glad you did that. But that's what you want to do if you're feeling nervous about the graft.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
It's-
Marks on the side.
Yeah, you rock it. You don't push.
Oh, it's
Yeah, they do.
The chip? No, it's
They do have a tendency to split.
1/3 of the way down, and then you come toward the middle.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
A bigger example because it's hard to see.
This is one of the nice parts. They
You mind if I pass it around?
I'm on it all. Let me explain it.
You can. But I have a bit of shot
Yeah.
real quick.
yeah, they slip together. Makes it much easier, and yeah, it's a good thing. They have less of a tendency to rock. If they rock, when they rock, then you lose contact with the cambium. Okay, I can use your bands, or I can use
Yeah, right here. There's these come out rubber bands.
I'm going to pass this back around. You can actually see that bore entered from the back side of that butt.
Mark, I got rubber bands.
Chipped it down far enough where he bored into
Well,
the
you
back
lose.
side.
I'll double them up if I need to.
Came in through the bud.
This is the one you pass around with the buds on it. Whatever, you got that out of it.
And Mark's wrapping that up. Steve right here's got something he wants to show you as far as that graft.
It's kind of hard to see what he's doing there, and these pictures help a lot. This is the final location, but just a whip is just side to side. But when you go to put these together, they slide, and they're really hard to wrap. And that's why we do the Whip&Tongue. As Mark put that together, it stuck on there and didn't move. You can actually shake it, and it won't move anywhere. You set this on here and it's just going to fall right off. I'll pass this sample around. I use this for teaching. I teach apple and pear grafting, but you know we want to come down 1/3 of the way from the top, like Mark said. So I drew a line across there just to give you an example where that cut starts. And then when you take that cut down to the end, your tongue cut is not parallel to this surface. It's not parallel to this surface. It's kind of to the middle. And you pick that spot right at the bottom of that whip. So there's a line on there for that. So I'll pass this around. You get a chance to see in a little bit bigger pieces.
Little about Steve here, and that's where I come from too. Backyard fruit growers from Lancaster County, PA. You can go online, BYFG. I'm the editor of their newsletter, and that Steve, Master Gardener from Pennsylvania, and he runs our class in March every year of grafting, and it's probably one of the most premier groups in grafting workshops, probably on the eastern side of the United States.
We had 273 varieties of apples this year. Signs available.
In Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
I doubled that up because I ran out. I could have used a longer one or a wider one. But
I offered, don't want to hear about it.
Old school, huh?
No, he's one of them guys, I got this, leave me alone.
Yeah, and you can't get too much pressure. I know somebody who grafts in Florida, and of course he doesn't have a dormant season to graft down there. He grafts mangoes. He used to cut strips of old inner tube and really crank those things down.
You know, sometimes what he just talked about, sometimes when you squeeze that scions together like that, or scion and the rootstock, you can actually, if you're squeezing it too hard, it'll actually, what I would call hydraulic. It'll force them away from one another by squeezing it too tight. Because you got that bevel there that's giving it that slip. So I can see where he's coming from that, but I like a tight unit, but it doesn't have to be so tight that it's going to cause that to slip away from one another.
was the buddy tape I'm used to that.
What the one perforated?
Yeah, perforated.
Right there below you. Pull off. If I may, while you're wrapping that up, I will tell you, my personal opinion, that graft right there is one of the best grafts that you can work with. And it's because of all the cambium contact. If you were to look at cambium contact and you look at the circle, the entire circle is cambium, right? Whenever you're dealing with cleft graft, you got a point over here, a point over here. When you're dealing with that'd be a good way to look. When you're dealing with your scion, the outer circle, that's all cambium. With the cleft graft that Marc had shown is friendly. All you need is to touch the cambium. But you have contact here, straight across from it, contact here. But sometimes when your scion is too small, you have contact here. When it comes to this graft right here, you've got contact practically all the way around. And that's optimum in my book.
Now I'm shortening this up.
Jim, if I can add to that, the other thing you think about, when you go from a circle to an oval, which is what you do with that by cutting that whip, you increase that surface area. And the cambium cells are essentially stem cells, biological. That's the only cells that can actually grow together and fuse. None of the other woods ever going to grow together. You have a strong graft, like Jim said, that's what you do.
Just short of reaching in.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, tag.
Here, you got these right here.
Yeah, and as soon as I get back in the house, I like to make a map. Because
There you go.
your niece or your grandkids, somebody's going to come and take that tag off. So a good map that'll stick around. So you might have to go out and re-tag things.
I had one I grafted the other day, and I was in a rush because I had to get out here and get to work on this. And I took the tag, I had the tag written, and I ran in the house real quick, and I forgot to put the tag on the tree. And when I went to get this here cleaned up, I was there, I said, daggone, I forgot to put the tag on that last tree. And I knew exactly what tree it was. So I stuck it in my pocket, in the back pocket, thinking I'll run out there before I take off, because I was coming back out here the next day. And I come out here, worked all day and everything, and I got home and went to change clothes and get cleaned up. I always check my pockets. I'm like, daggone, man, I forgot all about it. So I ran out there and I put it on there. When I put it on there, I looked at the tag and I said, that's wrong. Because I knew what I grafted. I grafted Kentucky Champion, but because of my rush, I marked it Kentucky Legend. So I got one there at the house, it's marked Kentucky Legend. Guess what? This weekend it's getting changed because I know exactly what I grafted on there. And people that know me, it's been at my property, I can step out there in my own little personal orchard. I got a template right there. And I can stand in that orchard and just point at trees and tell you exactly what they are. Am I right, Logan? Logan had him and his friends was there. Am I right, Kevin?
Absolutely.
I can do that. Why? Because I'm the one that did them. I go out there and check them every stinking day. I'm a fanatic. I guess you might be able to tell. But I'm a fanatic. All right?
I see these misused. People order these online, and this is not for the jackknives are fine. They put them in the pocket. I see people.
Back pocket.
Yeah, put them in their back pocket like this, or put them like this, and that's an invitation for cuts. So that's. So I got some time to it. This is how I carry in my apron. Normal.
PVC.
Yeah, PVC.
That's pretty cool. 'Cause I got a knife like that at home. My brother made it for me. I don't use it because of that. I don't have nothing to carry it in. Yeah, safety first. Okay, well.
Here's the grafting.